watch Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Hello and welcome to another week of Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics. I'm your host, Dennis. Unfortunately, Teresa's not with us again. She is once again not feeling well.
Got sick. It's going around.
Yeah, so she hasn't been off to a good start this year. Cyclone is back though. If you haven't seen the show In the Cage of Cyclone, check that out. It's a show on right before us. He's talking about all fight sports and everything. And he's been sick a lot this year too, so those two must be hanging out in the same place.
It seems like it. Sharing the same war, I don't know.
But tonight's guest is sitting right next to me. It's Jeff DeLuca. He is an artist, mainly, right?
Yep.
I would say.
For the most part, yeah. Trying to break into industry, get into a gallery maybe.
Right.
Along those lines, yeah.
So we'll get into that in a little bit. I want to thank David Weiss for coming on last week. He was a great guest and a great guy, great comedian. Definitely check him out. And let's get into it. I want to thank Frank Zambuto at Kayla Logistics. Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. Moving products you use every day across the country and around the world. Contact Frank Zambuto for all of your domestic and international logistic projects. Frank has over 20 years experience working with many name brand companies in the apparel, cosmetic, as seen on TV, and electronic industries. For trucking, air, and ocean cargo on all 7 continents, all you need is one solution. To all Cool Cat listeners, just mention our show and Frank will offer a free cost and transit time analysis for all your cargo. When cost and time matter, we deliver. Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. And you can reach Frank at his direct line at 347-536-3933 or email at frank@kaylalogistics.com. So I want to say hi to Frank. I know he's out shooting darts tonight for the Irish Pub, but they're on the road tonight. So hello to those guys. I see he's listening in. Hopefully all the guys are checking him out too.
Got to go into the bar maybe. Just get the whole bar into it.
Yeah. I want to eventually do that. I want to do a show at the bar.
That would be awesome.
Have an event at the bar and film most of it that we could show here.
Have the sound go through the bar, maybe talk to people throughout the bar.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I know he's probably got his phone on. They're probably watching through that. But at the Irish Pub, they're going to start hooking us up through their TVs while we're live. So they will get to hear us.
Wow.
We just need a better thing than my phone to respond. We got to get a laptop in
maybe
here.
Maybe a laptop, something. But at least there's a way to respond.
But hello to everybody. I see V is watching, Frank, Mike. Jay wishes he could hang with Teresa, but I don't know. The way both of you guys get sick, you're not going to be doing much.
Teresa's very nice, but not right now. I don't want the flu.
Because he's had a series of illnesses this year, too, like you were saying before. So
I feel like I've been avoiding it. I've been fine. Everyone around me has been sick. Like, I'm just going to get nailed one day with the bug.
Every year seems like the worst year, doesn't it?
It's just, I get sick twice a year. Like spring or winter, I just don't talk to me for a week.
Right.
Can't leave my bed.
But the flu seems to be getting worse. Your stomach viruses seem to be getting worse. Ear infections seem to be back.
Those
I
day
don't know what's
bugs?
going on. Yeah.
Ever get those day bugs where it's just you're on lockdown for 24 hours? It's just, it's the most painful thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying a word. We'll be good with that. But anyway, because I always fail to do this, I want to talk about my upcoming gigs, and then we'll get into you.
Absolutely, go ahead.
March 1st, I'm at Governor's Little Room with Terry McNeely. That's going to be a great show. If you go to buy tickets, I am not on the flyer. I was added after the fact, but don't worry about it. If you see Terry McNeely's show on March 1st, I am on it. At March 23rd, I'm in a contest at the Loft in Belmore, so make sure you come down and support me for that. March 30th, I will be, I believe, at Governor's Little Room, but I will fill you in more on that. And April 3rd, a new place for comedy, the Irish Pub, and I will have more info on that. So definitely want to give it up to Sean in the Irish Pub. He's really making that place into something. I don't know if you've been there.
I've never been, but you've told me great things about it.
And it's funny because, and we'll segue into what you do with this. He just had a paint night there.
Oh, yeah? Like a wine and paint night?
Yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
I would love to do that one day, but I have no artistic skills.
Oh,
I hear it's easy to do, but what got you into it? How'd you start?
I started getting into art when I was a younger kid. Like, I'd just be reading comic books all the time. I was a big comic book fan. And my older brother would be drawing or whatever, and after he would leave and go out and whatever, I would, like, sneak into his room and steal whatever I could and trace it. And just try to learn whatever I could through that way, because I was always really just sucked into comic book art, and that's really how I got into drawing, and then that led to painting, and then
Now,
just kinda,
were you one of those kids that were like a great colorer right off the bat, coloring in the lines and doing all the fancy stuff
I
with
think
it?
so.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's some people just are like born with it. Like the kids just have the natural talent. Some got to work real hard at it.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
I just want to know which one did you just have the ability, or did you?
I think I always had the interest, and then it's all I wanted to do.
Right.
And it's just you always beat yourself up about. I mean, I'm sure you can like when you're writing a joke or something, you probably sit there, you analyze it and go over it 100,000 times in your head until, but it is good, but you just overanalyze yourself.
Right.
It's the same thing with art. I sit there and I'll be drawing something and my mind will just be going 800 different directions. When really it's good just to get too hard on myself. But yeah, I mean, I've just always loved it.
Now, do you draw like comic book type art, or are you more of a painter of it? Do you do both?
I've become more of a painter recently. I taught myself
Illustrator
how
was the word I was looking for. I was like, well, there's a fancy word for it. Yeah, illustrator.
yeah, I've taught myself how to oil paint recently. In the past, I would say year, I taught myself how to oil paint, and that's my niche right now. It's my wheelhouse. Because after high school, I got into graphic design and went to college for it, but computers didn't click. I had to, touch it, draw it with my own hands and everything. Digital is a little different.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think that runes is taken away from the classic hand art? Because everything seems to be computer graphics now.
I mean, no, it doesn't take away from it because there's definitely a skill. I can't do it. I can't sit there and tinker because you can erase and you can go back to what you had before, but if you're painting, once I erase it, it's gone. I can't hit redo and go back. But I mean, there are digital artists that are incredible. But
I can't do that either.
no, it's definitely way more intricate. Like there's a hell of a lot more to learn in digital art than if you're just painting or colored pencils or watercolor. I'd say it's more like a direct skill painting, like with your hand and everything, as opposed to digital. But it's the way of the world now. Everything's digital.
Yeah, and I know the paint nights are getting more and more popular. It seems that there's places designed specifically for wine and paint.
There was a girl I knew in college that was one of the painters, like the teacher you call it, and they just give really just easy things to do, and it always looks good. You don't have to be a good painter. You just go there, have a glass of wine.
He was saying that too, but said you do not need artistic skills for paint night. But we'll see.
Nah, you don't. You go just as long as you're having a good time. That's all that matters. That's the only reason I do it. I don't do it to.
I want to do it for fun, and I want to pick something that looks cool but looks simple.
Yeah.
Like I see that it does seem to be different levels of.
Well, they take you through it. They'll be like, all right, well, we're gonna do the sun background, and everyone does the sun background, and then we're gonna do the water, and everyone does the water.
You ever watch Bob Ross?
Oh yeah, he's great.
He made everything look so easy. To be fair, I never tried it, but he would just start going like this. Next thing you know, there's this beautiful nature scene that looked a lot harder to do than what he's
I think that right now. He's on Netflix, and I just threw it on one day for the hell of it. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna put this pretty tree. I'm like, all of a sudden, it's like this beautiful mountain scene. I'm like, that doesn't work like that.
It's like anything you watch in sports or any professional do anything. Oh, that's easy, and then you try it, and like, no, it's really not easy.
I'm pretty sure Bob Ross was like in the Marines. He was a tough dude.
I did hear that.
And then all of a sudden, he just became this real soft-spoken.
But I also heard that Mr. Rogers was that, and that ended up being an urban legend. It wasn't true.
I mean,
Bob Ross might have been.
I think he was. I think he just saw so many things go down, and be like, I'm just gonna be a painter now and grow this glorious afro.
I guess you find it too, especially if you're doing original stuff. There were no mistakes, just happy accidents.
Just happy
You just
accidents.
went with it, and drew, just incorporated whatever you did into.
That happens even now. I'll be painting, or it's something will get in my hand, and then it'll smudge over there. Be like, oh, I have to go fix that now, and or I have to make this into something because there's a huge black streak by accident because I turned around and I don't know. It's just things happen. You turn them into something else.
Right.
And then sometimes it just ends up going in a totally different direction than when you intended, and works out for the best.
Now, that was another thing I was going to ask. Do you have a mission? Like, what do you set out? I'm going to paint this, or do you just kind of let the brush take you where it's taking?
No, I usually I'm really into doing musicians now. Like I have a Jimi Hendrix, I have a Biggie, I have a Bowie, and I just finished a Mac Miller, and I'll find like a picture I like, or like a pose I like, or a facial expression I like, and I'll kind of just make it up as I go along. I'll get it as close as I can, and then create a background I like, or create just a different kind of lighting, or just not use the same colors, and just take it in a different direction, make just wherever I think looks cool.
Right.
And that's what I love about it.
I'll tell you, some of these street artists are amazing too. I'm sure you've seen them.
Oh my God.
Get a couple of cans of spray paint. It looks like they're just doing a whole big mess, and they clear everything. It's like a beautiful skyline.
Well,
It
yeah,
sounds like that.
they use different nozzles and everything. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I would use a different paintbrush, use a different nozzle, and it's just I watch the videos of them, and they just do it in like a 1/2 day. Like, that would take me weeks,
Yeah.
and they go up on the cherry picking and everything, and that graffiti artists are incredible. They blow my mind.
I was in California, and I saw some of them just, just out there.
Yeah.
Right. The ocean is the background, just doing the stuff, and within minutes they would do stuff that was just amazing.
That-
Graffiti artists, like not just the ones tagging, like, but
Oh
the
no,
real
like
artists.
a
it's
mural,
just-
a
yeah.
wall mural.
It's
Those guys
amazing.
are.
I know some of them have been hired by places to put.
Well, yeah, the building owner
Yeah.
would hire you to do it, and then you'd go in, you'd have all day. But if he doesn't hire you,
Yeah, then that's a different story. That's
Kinda-
breaking the law.
yeah, it's kind of illegal, but beautiful work though.
Yeah. So you said comic books got you into it. So obviously you're a big comic fan.
Yeah,
Marvel, DC. Where you
Marvel
at with that?
Marvel all the way. And the only thing you can take away from DC is Batman, and they managed to mess that up. So
I'm on the fence with that because Wonder Woman I thought was a great movie.
phenomenal.
I can't wait for the second one. I liked Aquaman.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet.
It was good. Batman vs Superman might have been one of the worst movies I've seen. I just didn't get it.
Snooze fest.
Justice League was okay, but the problem is they didn't build up enough. Like Marvel knew what they were doing. They started
Oh yeah.
whatever it was, 18 years ago, building up to this moment where we're at right now, where DC just seemed to kind of like play catch up.
Well,
with
that's exactly what it is. They took words out of my mouth. They just played catch up. They went, Avengers is coming out. We need a super team movie, and they didn't let the character develop. And they
Yeah.
kind of just went, look, Batman and Superman.
And they had the time because you had Batman vs Superman, which they spent 45 minutes on the backstory of Batman. Which, if you're watching that, you don't need it at that point.
Especially at this point.
There's been no
How many
Superman.
Batman
There's
movies
been
are there?
one Superman movie to this Justice League.
Yeah,
You know,
it was Man of Steel,
until you
right?
go back to Christopher Reeve days, which most people that are watching these movies now weren't even alive when they were out. So why not develop Superman a little bit? Who's Lex Luthor? I mean, they didn't even explain
Yeah,
that or
they-
why he was doing anything to
They
that.
kind of just went with the splash power of the actor
Yeah.
and wanted to just they shouldn't have tried to keep up. Just let
Yeah.
Marvel be
But
Marvel.
they could have. I mean, Batman was a strong
Batman's awesome.
series. All of them were
Yeah.
doing well. They could have went with that. And I don't know. I didn't mind Justice League. Not Justice League. Suicide Squad.
Oh,
I know a
you
lot of
didn't
people
mind it?
hated that. The thing I didn't like is that, you have the Joker in the forefront of the Suicide Squad, but
Yeah.
he wasn't in it in that movie.
There's
And I don't like Jared Leto's Joker.
oh
But it did have some good moments in there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the highlight of it, who was Margot Robbie,
I was
is
just-
not going to be in the sequel of it. I know she's still working with DC, but she's
Yeah.
not. If she's not in Suicide Squad,
she's doing
it's not going to go over well.
Birds of Prey, I think they're
Yeah.
gonna call it. And yeah, that was where do you even begin with everything that was wrong with Suicide Squad? This Will Smith and Margot Robbie, they were great.
Right.
Everything they did, awesome. They're cool. But who is Slipknot? You just killed this. You just brought him in. We're gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
Killed him off right away. Captain Boomerang was funny. He cracked a beer and had a unicorn. It was, other than that, it was just
they really-
what's their name with their super machine.
Yeah.
That's all it was. You even know what it was supposed to be doing. It was just
That's
flashing
true. There was
lights.
really no character development leading into that
it was-
either. So again, you're coming into it new.
Yeah,
You're not
it's
going to
just- you kinda
understand what's
just
going on.
flop this film of special effects, and that's all it was. Well, Justice League too. It's just look at all these special
Yeah.
effects. Everything's really dark. It's always just dark and gloomy.
And you know what? It's just now I guess they're going to try to Ben Affleck left, so now they're going to recast
They're
Batman.
gonna reboot it again.
And yeah, they're going to try that again. And you told
Yeah.
Batman stories so many times. Maybe build up some of the other characters.
well, what I heard rumors of them doing was, you ever hear of Flashpoint?
No.
Flashpoint is where instead of Bruce's parents dying, Bruce dies.
Okay.
And his dad becomes Batman, and his mom, spoiler alert, goes crazy, and she's the Joker.
Okay.
And he becomes Batman because he wants to fight crime because his son died, and he's very vengeful and all that. And it's a good twist. on the same story that everyone already knows. We all know the story of Batman.
Right.
So if you do something like that, that's off the cuff and not this like try to make this extravagant storyline, it'd probably do well.
Yeah. And you're right. Don't compete with Marvel. Either.
Yeah,
You're
just
too far behind.
it's
Them.
over.
Just do your own
Yeah.
thing.
It's over. Be the B Squad. It's fine.
Yeah.
Work with Batman because it's what everyone likes.
And Justice League can do something. You can do
could,
something with
yeah.
that, but develop the characters.
Justice League, it could be cool. I mean, it's just that's what always drew me to Marvel more because they're more personable. Like Spider-Man is just a kid from Brooklyn. He was a dorky
Yeah.
kid. He wasn't the cool guy, so you could relate to him. He's relatable. How you gonna relate to Superman?
That
He's-
was true, and people have said that before. People on the show, and I know other people have said that's the difference with Marvel. Marvel characters are more realistic,
yeah.
more relatable. I mean, of course, you have people like Thor and.
Oh
you know,
yeah, of course.
But
There's that.
there's so many others that it's just, you
Yeah.
know, and a lot of them got their powers through a tragedy
Yep.
and built off that, which people like. They like to see the loser win, and you know,
Yeah,
everyone
who
likes to
doesn't?
when they feel weak, they want to feel like something can get them out of that, and that's what those movies give them, I think.
Yeah, or everyone wants to have this idol to look up to. There's some
Yeah.
kind of support going. Well, he did it. You know.
And
that's what Marvel does.
What's amazing about their movies is you don't have to watch any one of them
Nope.
to get what you could watch any movie in any sequence and be like, well, that's a good movie. But if you watch them all, it just makes that much more sense.
Yeah, and then you watch them in a single clip, and it's like, wow, you
Yeah.
guys really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
There was one specifically which I said I was not looking forward to Doctor Strange at all. I did not want to see it. Had no interest in it. Didn't see it when it was in the theater. I waited and I was like, damn, this was actually a
That's
good movie.
awesome.
I like Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job.
Yes, he
and
did.
that's the cool thing about what they're doing now at Marvel is these are all like B-level guys, like Captain America, Iron Man. They're like known characters, but they're not the X-Men.
No.
They're not the Fantastic Four. Like, and then Marvel just got all those rights, and they just got their golden goose and Spider-Man back, and now it's just gonna be.
Yeah.
It's just over
Because
DC.
that was the thing. I don't ever remember Iron Man being a big thing when I was young.
Because he wasn't that
Captain
cool.
America, they tried. They really, really tried with him, but he
Yeah.
just never sold as like a series. They
Nah.
tried on TV a couple of times. They tried like other type of movies, and they just never went off well. But now with the Avengers series,
Yeah.
it's working. They
Because they did it right.
like you said, they're taking these B and C characters and putting them in the forefront to the point that even Netflix is dropping them, not because they're not doing well, but because of Disney taking over. But even
yeah.
people like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, these are all becoming shows people are watching now.
They didn't get the plug pulled on them because they failed. They got the plug pulled
Yeah.
on because Marvel's going, no, we're just going to do it better than you, and not why get tied to you when we don't have to.
Right.
Because Disney's going to have a streaming service, and they're just going to do everything over there.
Yeah.
So why would I go through you when I'm Disney? I can do everything.
Before I forget, and before we go further down this comic line and forget, with your artwork, you're going to be featured next month. You want to talk about that?
Barrier Brewery. I'm going to be the artist of the month there for the entire month. Come down, check some stuff out. If you like it, you can buy it. Everything's for sale. If you don't, just have a beer. Check out some cool artwork.
Yeah, the first time I saw something like that, it was the coolest thing. I was in a bar having a beer, just like you said, and there's this artwork all over the wall. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Like, you could buy those right off the wall and walk out with them. I thought that was the greatest thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a really awesome environment there, and their beers are always changing in and out. They always have something cool, some kind of different flavors, and that you don't even really think of when it comes to beer, but you just kind of sit there and go, huh, I like this. And all of a sudden, you're a beer connoisseur looking at some art. Look
Now,
at you.
Do you have a theme there, or is it just going to be a little bit of everything?
No, it's going to be a little bit of everything. I mean, like I said, I'm going to have most of my music paintings up there. I'm going to have some watercolor paintings, some different outside-the-box stuff. But come check it out.
It's not
Maybe
a
you'll
one-night
see-
thing. It's every day
entire
of the month.
month.
So
Yep.
make sure you at least get down there once. I'll have to go down there. Hopefully, Teresa will be able to come.
Hopefully, yeah. Just don't bring
Hopefully,
the
she's
flu.
better by then. Yeah, leave the sicknesses home and come out. We'll go down and check out his artwork. Obviously, you can't be there all night every night, but
No, I'll be there this Saturday. I'll be there from 6 to 11. Come down, have a beer. I could tell you about it.
right.
Or you can just enjoy it yourself.
Yeah, V brings up a point. DC definitely has a better niche on TV, but do they though? I mean, yes, Smallville and those shows are big on the network TVs, but Netflix was doing very well with the Marvel shows.
Marvel doesn't have to do TV.
Yeah,
they're just strictly movies. They kill the box office.
you know,
Why waste time?
I know some of the regular TV shows didn't do as well, but That's what like. I don't know how you could think that far ahead, especially when you have so many different writers on so many different projects. Because their movies, the TV shows, everything just.
Yeah. The web of
Yeah, it
Marvel
just all lines
is,
up with each other.
Pun intended.
I mean, of course,
But-
there's mistakes and there's
Yeah.
going to be continuity errors and.
Well, I mean, the second Thor movie, The Dark World. Let's just put that in the garbage can. Put it over there. It was awful. But Ragnarok was
You know,
awesome.
it's funny when I watched that the first time, and then I watched Ragnarok. I hated Ragnarok, and then I rewatched it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I missed it. It actually was a really good movie. I liked the Dark World because it was darker. It was a little bit more how it would have been, but it's just and DC is just as guilty. The power of each hero varies so much from movie to movie.
Yeah.
And it is thrown off like, oh, this is the unbeatable person, but then they get beat pretty easily by
then there's
someone,
other
and then they're
unbeatable.
weaker in the next one by someone
Yeah.
who the other person beat.
Yeah.
You just keep getting confused by it. Like in Ragnarok, well, if you go back to the Dark World, I forget that his sister. I can't remember his sister's name now.
His sister was Ragnarok.
Yeah, I can't remember her
I
name.
can't-
V's
I
gonna
can
put
see
it
her
out there
face.
once
I
it goes
can't-
there.
yeah.
But the hammer was this indestructible thing. Only the pure could live, and she just goes,
Yeah, just
and breaks it like it's nothing.
no big deal. And then you.
But
yeah.
then the only he can't beat it. The Hulk, they're all there. Yeah, easy enough. Hella.
Hello. Yep. There you go.
They're
Thank
all
you.
trying to beat his sister. They can't do it. But then the guy he kicks the ass in the beginning real easily and rips off his helmet is the one that could fight her all of a sudden.
Oh,
So
yeah, I never really put that together, but I kind of
Yeah.
just enjoyed it as it was going. But now you say it, it does sound kind of silly. But
But then he learned that he didn't need the hammer.
yeah,
He had the power inside the whole
You're
time.
the god of thunder. What do you need a little
Yeah,
hammer
you're not the
for?
god of hammer. You're the god of thunder. He got more powerful. He got stronger than the Hulk in Ragnarok.
And how awesome was that when he
Which-
just realized that he
yeah.
just goes onto the Rainbow Road, Zeppelin starts going. Oh my god!
And then all of
I
a
loved
sudden,
it.
in the beginning of Infinity War, he's weak again.
Yeah,
And then he's
well,
got to get a new hammer built.
Oh, he was. I mean, his like whole family died, and then his
but
home
how
got
he
obliterated.
should have been able to destroy them pretty easily.
He's only got one eye. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He got it back in Infinity War.
Yeah, there was Rocket.
Yeah.
He took. Yeah.
Took the eye from him. You might want to watch that first.
Whoops. Spoiler.
And it's sad though because I like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Loved it.
I thought they were all great. And
Yeah.
it's a shame because it was supposed to be the third one coming out, and the whole controversy with the writer and
I
you
think
know.
the third one is coming out. I think they're sticking to it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Good.
But
Because the Me Too movement started out as a good thing, but then really blew up into this thing where everybody was just losing their
witch
jobs,
hunt.
and
Yeah.
not even that it was a witch hunt. It was just like it was destroying careers of everybody, even that with just collateral damage.
It got
like
too
you had all these people
it
that,
got-
that
yeah.
you know. All right, so if the writer's bad, it's written. The movie's going to get made. Throw the guy
Yeah.
in jail if he did something wrong.
You
Fine
were
him,
around
take his
him.
money.
You're in the same room as him when he did that. It's like, whoa.
But now you're now
don't
you're gonna
know.
the whole cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy have to suffer because
Now-
this guy may or may not have done something.
yeah, I'm
you know.
yeah, not condoning that terrible person, but it's like you can't just
Yeah.
wipe
and
the
again,
whole
if he did
slate.
something bad, screw him.
Yeah, screw him,
Harvey
throw him, lock
Weinstein,
him up, throw him
him
away.
in jail. But every movie that Harvey Weinstein made shouldn't be pulled because there were a lot of people involved in those movies that deserve to be seen and make money and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't. It seems like it's calming down a little bit now. Hopefully it
Yeah.
is. But again, if anyone did anything like Kevin Spacey, if he's guilty of what he did, lock him up
Throw him in
forever.
the box forever. Throw away
I
the
don't
key.
care. But the movies that he made, let him go out. Let it make the money. Just don't give it to him. His money should go to his
Yeah,
victims.
just put it towards like a fund.
or a fund
yeah.
for people of sexual abuse or
Makes sense.
whatever.
Total logical way to do it.
But anybody else that was in it that had nothing to do with it, let them earn their living.
Yeah. I like I said last I saw, I think it was still in production. I'm not.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I'll tell you, and they putting that cast with Thor together was perfect.
Oh, it was great.
I thought it was
yeah.
hysterical. I didn't think much of Batista as an actor until
It's
Guardians of the
hysterical.
Galaxy. He's great, and a lot of that they say is improv.
When he was doing the quiet thing?
Yeah, he
Or
just
you
starts doing these
You don't
things and they
see me if
keep
I'm
it.
too quiet?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was rolling. And then Chris Pratt pretending he's Thor.
Yeah. You mocking me? Are you mocking me? It's
This is the way I talk. What are you talking
like an
about?
angel and a pirate had a baby.
Yeah, it was
But,
great.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of them together. But unfortunately, it looks like Endgame is going to be the end of a lot of the characters.
Yeah, they're gonna start. They're gonna spin off, and I'm gonna assume Captain Marvel is gonna take over as the Avengers. Someone's going down.
Yeah, obviously
Someone's
people have to
dying.
go, and a lot of people. it's already known they're not signing new contracts. But just some of them, just because the contract's up doesn't mean they're not going to re-sign a new one. But I want to talk about this too, because I hate when people get to announce things. Because if you know the contract's over of somebody, whether it's The Walking Dead or an Avengers movie, then you know the person's not going to be around. It kind of takes away the shock.
Yeah.
Don't announce that yet. Yeah, you don't have to tell anybody. Kill the person off, and then it's, oh my God. But, you know, all right, this person's not resigning. And they're like, well, I knew that was coming. You know, to me, it takes away from it.
It's like I saw Gwyneth Paltrow said that she was open to the idea of coming back. It's like, oh, well, what happens to Pepper Potts, I guess.
Right.
Are you alluding that she's going to come back as, like, a female version of Iron Man? Or, like, just why are you even announcing it before the movie's out?
Batman kind of proved that you can recast and have success if you pick the right person.
Yeah.
Because they've had some bad Batmans throughout the year.
Jared Leto.
Batman, however you want to put it.
Jared Leto is the worst thing to ever happen to the Joker.
Yes.
The second I saw the picture,
think so too.
I was like, well, what are they doing and
why?
why?
I'm not even trying to compare him to Heath Ledger
or
Jack. But it's just, I don't like the character. And it's not him. It's not like I don't like him. I don't like that Joker. I don't like the meth head looking guy that's...
He's supposed to be unidentifiable.
Yeah.
He's got all these tattoos, which clearly identifies you as
And there's really
a
no
person.
scars. It's tattoos inside. The whole point
the
is, you
hand
want to know how I got
thing?
these scars?
Ugh.
I mean, be the Joker. At least
That
be the
was
character.
genius. Heath
Maybe
Ledger.
there's some version of that written somewhere that I've never read, but not that I don't really read comics anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going off what I read when I was younger, and I enjoy the movies and just take them for what they are.
I mean, I never even heard of the scar thing wasn't a thing until he did it.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember seeing it being like, huh, I don't know how I feel about that, but... And then, obviously, he did what he did, and it was absolutely incredible. But Jared Leto just took it in this weird
and I don't
direction
know if
that
it was
nobody
him
liked.
Or
Like,
the writer. I don't know who decided to do that, but...
and then he was sending rats to people on set because he was pretending how in character he was.
Well, he was known to really get into character, too, and get a little crazy. A lot of these guys do. Jack Nicholson's done it.
The method
you know.
actors. That's what, what's his name did?
You're right, V. Too much instant gratification nowadays. Everything's on the internet. Half these movie trailers reveal everything that's going on, which is why I have not watched the Endgame trailer yet.
I watch it because I just can't control myself.
I'm trying very hard. I haven't watched the Game of Thrones trailer yet. And Jack Nicholson was voted best comic book movie villain ever. And he deserved it because he played that comic book version, the Adam West version of the Joker perfectly.
And nailed it. Yeah.
It was that era of Batman was very different than when they rebooted it. So I don't even compare the two. I love Michael Keaton as Batman. I thought he was great.
Great Batman. Great Bruce Wayne, too.
Yes.
Because that's usually a very overlooked part.
That is true.
I thought Christian Bale nailed the I have too much time and money, I can do whatever I want, cocky
I like
attitude.
Christian Bale, and he's another one that's known to be a nut on set.
Yeah.
But there was too much with I'm Batman.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He did a little over the edge. Now he can't go back and you know.
The second one
once he did it, he had to keep it through all his
The
movies.
second one was bad. I try to watch it. And I'm like, oh man, why'd you do that? Like the movie's
ruined
perfect.
it a little bit,
and then you do that. And it's terrible. But Jack was awesome because he put his own twist on it too.
Yeah.
He took the '60s character and gave it his little Jack touch.
Yeah.
Only Jack can do.
Ben, I don't think he did enough to really be fairly judged.
I don't think so either, because Justice League, he's also older.
Yeah.
He's already kind of seasoned and been through the gamut. He's kind of got the fed up look, face on the whole time. And again, you didn't build anything, so I don't know.
I liked him in Justice League, Batman vs Superman. I just didn't. I'd have to go back and watch it for him. The only thing I liked was the end of the movie when Wonder Woman got introduced. And it did set up Justice League, that they had the files and everybody. But that was the only, if 15 minutes of that movie was worthwhile.
Yeah,
the other 2.5 hours or whatever it was you could have threw out.
All of them were really long too.
Again, they're trying to steal that. Marvel could get away with a 2.5, and with this one, a 3-hour plus movie because there's a lot of story to be told.
Yeah,
and they said it too. We got. I forget the exact number of movies that fit in there. It's like 25 or whatever.
All of them?
Yeah, because they said you can't wrap up 25 movies in 2.5 hours. You need time.
I can see that, but I mean, they say this movie's gonna be, I think, like 2:45, 3.
Well, they cut it down to 3, and they don't think they can do any more, which is why they were talking about putting a break in it. But I think the original version, I think they said was like close to 4 hours, which I wouldn't mind it if there was a break in between, but that's a long time to be sitting in the theater.
That's a while.
Everybody's going to be on their phones at some point. You know?
I remember seeing Lord of the Rings in theaters and just being like, having to pee and go to the bathroom, just like,
Yeah.
I can't leave because I'm not missing it.
Right.
And I feel like it's just going to be one of those kind of scenarios.
But they are wrapping up a lot of movies with this and ending
Yeah.
some big characters that have been around.
Well, it's...
You know, it could be the end
Yeah.
of Iron Man. It could be the end of Captain America. It could be, actually, the way they designed it, only the original Avengers survived.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fan theories out there that they actually are the ones that died and everybody else survived.
They were the only
And they're
ones that
in
survived the snap and
right.
everything, yeah.
So there's different versions of it. Basically, all the original Avengers contracts are up.
Yeah.
I hope they don't get rid of all of them because it would kind of suck.
I mean, they're not going to get rid of all of them because, I mean, I don't think they're going to get rid of Thor. You can't, because it's Thor. He's God of Thunder. You can't get rid of him. Like I said before,
But they were talking about doing the female version of Thor that's been out there and stuff. And
well, there's a lot out there in the new world of Marvel, like Ironheart. Tony passed down his suit to a girl that was going to MIT in Brooklyn, so she
Right.
became the new Iron Man. So I really have no idea what they're doing.
see,
But
at least Iron Man is a suit, it's a concept.
it's a suit. Yeah, you could pass the torch. Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
But
That's
the
like-
others, it's going to be a stretch to I mean, this version of Spider-Man is still new. And
Yeah.
that was another one I think they rebooted way too many times. It kept going to the...
That's just, was it Sony? That's just Sony
Yeah,
having
it's
no
like,
idea
stop.
what to do.
You have however many years they've been writing Spider-Man, why you keep going to the same story and starting it over?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to know about Uncle Ben anymore.
Yeah.
We all know the Spider-Man story. So that's why I think Marvel just jumped right back into it. Because you got to give people their Peter Parker fix, and then I think they're going to go miles.
Did you like Homecoming?
I liked
Spider-Man
it.
Homecoming? The problem I had with it is I think Tony Stark was way too involved in it. Iron Man kept coming to save the day.
Yeah, kind of bail
Tony
him
Stark
out.
gave him the suit. The whole point of Spider-Man that he was a genius. He created the suit. He created his webs. He
Yeah.
became himself. And now he's just like a little...
A little
you know,
errand boy for
yeah.
Iron Man. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they had to. They kind of
Spider-Man's
had
a
to
lot
do it.
stronger than people give him credit for.
Oh yeah,
He did beat the Hulk in the comics.
I was
so.
gonna say he's stronger than the Hulk.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they had to kind of do it that way because they have all these characters that are known to the world. Iron Man,
Right.
Cat, and like
And again, you want to have him be a mentor?
Yeah.
That's fine. I have no problem with that. But he shouldn't have been. It should have been the Spider-Man movie. It shouldn't have been the Tony Stark movie until the very end when Spider-Man finally gets his chance to shine.
that would have been you
I
been a
hopefully
solid
they
way
do
to
a
do
little
it.
bit more Spider-Man in the next one.
I mean, I'm excited to see Mysterio.
Yeah.
I love Mysterio. He's very underrated character. He's an illusionist. He's super cool. I just hope they don't do too much like without his helmet on, because it's Mysterio. It's not Jake Gyllenhaal. It's Mysterio.
See, well, that started. I guess the original Spider-Man. Well, the original of the newer Spider-Mans, because the actors getting paid want to show their face.
Yeah.
So it became a thing. Everyone keeps pulling their mask off. You know what? Superman, you saw his face the whole time. His big mask with the glasses and the hair. Batman was Bruce Wayne, so you had the little back and forth with that.
Yeah.
You know, Batman wasn't fighting and pulling off his mask, going, "Woof, man, am I hot?" So why is Spider-Man doing it? You have Peter Parker, be Peter Parker, then be Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the star.
Yeah.
You knew that when you took the role. Stop pulling your mask off for everything, like when you stopped the subway.
Oh
or the train.
yeah, when you the thing. And,
Woo!
and the little kid-
No, stop. Stop with that. Stop pulling
Yeah.
off the mask for everything.
I'm very with that. That's what I love about Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds did
Yes.
everything great. Because if anyone else did that but Ryan Reynolds, it'd sit there and show Ryan Reynolds' pretty face. Look
Yeah.
how handsome Ryan Reynolds is.
And he actually made fun of that by having Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds as the sexiest man on GQ or whatever it was.
But he pokes fun at himself, and that's just so Deadpool-esque. It's perfect.
That's true. Aunt May's getting younger and younger. V said the next Aunt May will be 18.
What is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how
Why
she's
is
getting
she
younger
so
and younger.
pretty? She's an aunt. She's
Yeah.
supposed to be a little old Aunt May.
Right.
But I don't know. This is what it is. They
Yeah.
can't be perfect, I guess. Even Marvel makes mistakes.
Yeah. I liked Venom. I thought that was a good movie.
But there's no Spider-Man, so
Yeah,
Venom's useless.
that's what I was going to say. I would like to have seen him incorporated it somehow. I
Yeah.
know, like, he was kind of the anti-hero, the super, the good / bad guy in that.
Yeah.
He was a little of both. So maybe at the end, have a Peter Parker or Spider-Man reference in there.
There should have been something.
So you can tie it in the next movie.
Yeah.
You could have an origin story for him, and then the next one. Because now if you bring it in, it just seems weird.
Well, what it was is Sony just going a Hail Mary Just
Yeah.
throw a character out there that everyone likes Venom. Everyone thinks Venom was cool. It was one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones growing up as a kid because he's this big, awesome, cool lizard thing that just flies around. Is a good guy, he's a bad guy. You don't really know what he's doing. So he's always a
Right.
cool character. But again, it was just a dart by Sony. And then what's his name's Carnage. The second one's has been certified as a go.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson is playing Carnage.
He can pull that off.
You
He's
see the
good.
end? The
No.
end? Oh yeah, they go.
Did I? Oh no, I did see that. Yes, I did.
Eddie Brock
I did.
goes in.
Yeah.
And he does this corny little thing. He's like, "Oh, I can promise Carnage." It's like, all right,
Yeah.
all right, great.
Michael Keaton's still good in these movies too. He was
Great Vulture.
yeah.
He was great.
They're saying, oh, because they were talking about bringing him back for Batman, like he's too old, but
No.
he could, you know,
No, he's too old.
he is,
No.
but he was so good in Vulture, and you bought him. You know?
I hook, line, and sinker
Yeah.
bought him. It was cool. It wasn't. He had like the fur on his jacket, and it was a flight suit, so it made sense.
And Batman has been showing vulnerabilities throughout the movies,
Yeah.
so you could kind of get away with it, and then maybe have him pass the torch to the next one. I would like to see him come back.
That's a fan.
It
that's a
is.
fan want.
It is,
It'll
but-
never happen. I'm with you. That'd be cool. If you told me that Michael Keaton was making an appearance in the new Batman, don't even show
I'd
me a
be all
trailer.
about it,
I already
yeah.
got a ticket. Already in.
Yeah, but they need to. Yeah, DC's got to do
DC,
something,
it's over.
man.
It's over, bud.
I don't know if it's over. They just need to sit back and just refocus.
Yeah,
their-
they need to stop playing catch up.
Yeah.
Don't play catch up.
look
Do
at
your
what's
own
working
thing.
because V was right too. The TV shows are doing very well, so maybe try to put that onto the big screen. Start tying them in.
I'm not a big
Supergirl
TV.
never worked on the big screen, but it was working as a show. Although I hear they're supposed to be canceling it and replacing
Yeah.
it with Superman. I don't know if it's true or not, but
I'm not a big TV show guy.
Yeah.
I'll do Game of Thrones. I did Breaking Bad, loved it. But like the CW, that's what it's on, right?
I really don't watch
Was
many.
never a fan.
I watch The Walking Dead. I watch Game of Thrones. I go back and like watch some old Netflix shows, but yeah, I don't
Even
really
The Walking
watch
Dead,
a lot.
it fell off. I just
You know what? I'm
there's too many
I
times.
like it.
There's too many times when you can just kill Negan and you don't.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm done.
I-
Done with you.
I actually am happy that they got rid of Carl and Rick on the show.
Yeah, because
I
you had to do
didn't
something.
mind it. Because Psycho Rick was great. Nice Rick was getting old and boring. And he
Yeah.
again, you're supposed to be saving your people, but you allow the bad guys to go
That's
all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
All the
I
time.
would not be following this guy. This
Yeah.
guy makes no moves. I'm getting
Yeah.
sick of it.
He didn't learn from any of the other groups he came across when they all, it never worked out.
Kind of like Batman.
Yeah.
Batman just always lets him go away, and you sit
Yeah.
there going, "Is he gonna kill somebody again? What? Is he gonna get out of jail? Is he gonna get out of Arkham?"
I do like Negan's character though, so I'm kind of glad they didn't kill him off. And he's, is he a bad guy? You gotta wonder because I mean, granted, some of his people did go a little rogue and were doing stuff to Rick's group, so he had a right to be after him. But Rick was the one that went in and killed all the sleeping people, and Negan went and said, "I'm going to take one life for that."
Yeah,
And that's all he was going to do.
Negan was like, because they did play him as a bad guy. I'm like,
He's really,
is he that bad?
Rick was
He's
kind of the
kinda-
bad. Their group was the bad
What
one
else
in
are you
that.
gonna do?
Yeah,
like
and
in
again-
a savage land like that, like.
I think Negan was a lot smarter than anyone gave him credit for. I think he knew everything about Rick's group. He took the outside of the group and killed him, which would have been the biggest threat to him because he didn't care. He was a big guy, he had
very
military
strategic,
background, all that. So he took him out, and then Daryl jumped up and he goes, "Well, you forced my hand
Yeah.
at it," and he had to kill Glenn. So
I was so tense watching that.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. I was like, my brother read the comics, so he knew, but I
Yeah.
didn't. So I'm just sitting there going,
well, you did
Oh,
know. 'Cause
God.
What I like and what people attack him for is they do have a lot of the comic stuff happen to characters there, but not necessarily the same one.
that's what I
Because
didn't.
I think Rick was the one who lost an eye or whatever.
I thought Rick lost an
Yeah.
eye, but like I said, I didn't read the comics, so I didn't know what was coming. That's why it was so entertaining to me, watching
Yeah.
it all just unfold as it is, and that's why I was like, I don't think Negan's that bad of a guy. I'm gonna say this out loud. I hope no one hates me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say
Yeah,
this.
he gave them. He let them go a lot too, and gave
Yeah.
them all chances, and just said, "Hey, look, the whole, your stuff is my stuff now." It was bad, but again, he was doing it because he was looking out for his people.
What was vicious was remember
He
when,
did steal everybody's wife, and
when they had that was
so
pretty
it
messed
wasn't
up.
all good. But
When they were captured, I think just before they went and saw Negan, and they had them like bent over the troughs, and we're just like they're just watching them get taken out one by one. I was stressing. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
what? No, there's no one around. How are they gonna get out of there? But it was a great show. Also,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Williams is his name.
Yeah.
Just a cool
He's
dude.
great.
Just a cool dude.
And you know what? I've been watching this season. I like it. I like the twist that they're doing. I think the other characters are really starting to shine now. The new enemies, the Whisperers, it looks like that's going to be a nice, tense battle.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it. I've just, because like I said, I stopped. But I saw the commercials where they're like skinning zombies and like
Yeah.
pretending to be zombies. Like,
Well, the
all right,
comic book
okay.
people, because I have not read the comics yet either, but the comic book people were saying from the start that the Whisperers, wait till the Whisperers come. The Whisperers, wait till the Whisperers. So they're here now. So this was basically what it was building up to. I don't know if they could.
Okay.
I think the Whisperers will probably end the show
well, each,
because I think they're losing fans as it is.
yeah.
This was supposed to be the big showdown, like I said from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's here. Negan was a badass, but it was Negan. Now you got a whole group of.
So now there's just another
Yeah.
whole ordeal. Well, I know the comic books are like that thick, and there's like volumes of them. So
Yeah.
I figured the story was just going to go on for.
Just yeah,
however
but
long.
you know, on TV things can only go for so long, unless
Yeah,
you're
it
The
gets-
Simpsons.
Unless you're the Simpsons, yeah.
Yeah,
Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guys. Well, they've been on and off a little bit, but Simpsons have been there consistently.
Predicting the future.
Yeah, that's a little freaky too.
Very weird, but hey, Simpsons can do it. Simpsons did it.
Now, being an artist and being into comic books, you notice most of the things we've been talking about are the success of basically comics.
Yeah.
Walking Dead was a
Very
I don't
popular
even-
when it came out.
Yeah, it was popular, but it wasn't mainstream like
No.
the Marvel and DC comics. And look, it's one of the biggest shows on TV right now.
Yeah, it's because zombies weren't cool.
Yeah.
All of us now, within the past couple of years, zombies are just everyone. How many zombies do you see for Halloween? Everyone's a zombie.
Yeah. And then if you look at a lot of the big shows, I mean, Game of Thrones was more of a regular series of books, but there's a lot of comic book
Still
shows
fantasy.
that are out there right now. They're basically running. Did you ever think about doing your own?
Making my own comic, I did. I have like an idea for a character, but it's just I've never. I always get my attention on something else.
Yeah.
Like I have notes, I have things written down, I have like cells drawn out and everything of like what I would do and what powers you would have and other characters and how they would interact. But it's a different kind of art because you're storytelling, and I'm just
Right.
more of I'd rather focus on making something look really nice for someone that wants it, and when they see it, their face lights up. That's what I go for.
Although it's tough, I'm sure the market's flooded right now. Everyone's probably trying to get their comic out
Everyone,
there.
it's always been like that. There's
Yeah.
always been people shoving their comic out there, trying to get views on it. But it's just, can you be a good artist, be a good storyteller, and have it all make sense in one shot?
Right.
It's usually there's comic book writers, there's comic book artists, and there's inkers. There's not someone that just goes, I'm gonna just do everything.
Yeah, that's true.
It's tough.
Stan Lee had a lot of help.
Stan Lee
stuff
had a
he did.
ton of help. Yeah, it was Steve Ditko created most of the characters, and Stan was kind of just in the room going, "What if we had like a guy have webs come out of his hands?" And just,
Which sounds crazy, but then boom.
but yeah, I mean,
It's just he's going to be missed. I'm glad he pre-filmed a bunch of cameos, so
Yeah.
it's not going to disappear from the movies
I
right
hope
away.
I hope they just do a Stan movie, like a biopic.
I'm sure that's coming.
It's got to be. He was just
Yeah.
that was one thing I was upset I never got to meet him because I was going to Comic-Con. He was going to be there,
Right.
And then like he fell or something, or he got sick, and they reported he wasn't going to be there. I'm like, well, that's probably it. Probably never going to see him because of that, but because I would have liked to like shake his hand. Just
Yeah, I can't think of a bigger name in comic books.
No,
Right?
'cause there is none. It's Stanley.
I mean, if you're a real, I'm sure people can rattle off 10 names off the top of their head about big influence in comic, but mainstream wise, there's
yeah,
no one
or
bigger than Stan Lee.
yeah, you think of like just the end all be all. It's Stan. A lot of people say Jim Lee. Jim Lee is one of my favorite artists. He pretty much created the X-Men '90s that you know.
Yeah.
And Todd McFarlane did Spider-Man. He was the first one to have the big eyes and the little twirls around his web and everything. He was the first to do that. He also created Spawn. There are other people out there, but
Even the
it's
real,
Stan.
like, Kevin Smith is huge into comics. He knows everything.
Yeah.
He had his big idol was Stan Lee, and, you know.
Kevin Smith is.
So, I mean, that guy knows what he's talking about, and yet he still was, yeah, so there's definitely going to be movies about him.
I can't.
I'm sure it's
going
gonna
to
be more than one.
I can't imagine not. It's so easy. It's just all the material's right there.
Yeah.
Just make actors and a screenplay. It's not. You don't have to come up with a lot of your own ideas. Just
They
Tell-
probably have
tell
a
a
movie
story.
just of his cameos over the years. Showing
All
all
of
the
his
different
cameos
ones.
are great. The Deadpool cameos.
Yeah.
He's in this strip club. This is hysterical.
Like, I don't know how many he has filmed or how much longer it's going to go for, but
Every
it's
movie.
It's gonna be sad when it's over.
He was in every movie, every Marvel
No,
movie.
but they said he pre-made some
Oh, did
because
he
he knew
really?
he was getting sick, so he started pre-making a bunch of cameos. So, and the way they cut scenes and the way he is in some of them, they really could fit him in anywhere.
Oh yeah, it's just a
To
guy
any
like
movie,
you're
so-
just panning over to see a guy on his lawn. It's just,
Yeah.
you could fit that in anywhere, I'm sure. But yeah, he's. I was upset when I got news he died.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was.
You
Like,
knew it was
I put my
coming.
phone down, just lean back.
Every year it's like he's getting a little older.
Well, yeah, like I said,
know.
he went to the hospital. Like, oh, Stan fell.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Stan's not. He's sick
And
now.
when you
It's
hear
like,
someone that
no.
age fall, it's like, oh.
Yeah, you
it's
saw.
not
It's
good.
like, oh no, don't be. No, not yet.
I gotta admit, when Ozzy went to the hospital with the flu, I was like,
That's what I was.
all this the life he lived, I wasn't sure if he was gonna get out.
I'm going to see the Stones in June, and I'm like, Keith, better make it. I swear.
He's the one that's gonna outlive everybody. That guy should be
Probably.
dead
He'll
100 times over.
He'll die by some stupid paper cut got
Yeah,
infected.
it's,
or
yeah,
something
it's gonna
just
be something weird with
ridiculous.
him. But I got tickets to see Ozzy in June, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope he's,
He's still touring?
yeah.
Oh my God! I thought it was like the last tour was like 3 years ago.
Well, when he did the No More Tours
That's what it
tour,
was, yeah.
he did say this is the first of my retirement tours. He came right out and
Just
said it.
sounds so funny.
Yeah,
This is the
he
first
saw
of
what
the
Kiss
end.
was doing, and he's like, you know what, he said I'll do it too. You know, they
Ozzy,
can keep
yeah.
going on retirement tours. I'm going to do it as well. The
would-
last
I wouldn't
time I
mind
saw
seeing
him
that.
at the Garden, it was great because he goes, "This is our last song." He did the song. He never even left the mic. He just one more song. Okay, I'll do another one. Like he had no intention.
Just
They
won't let it
actually
go.
kind of kicked him out.
Really?
He was
Kick Ozzy out.
great. He was on fire.
Yeah.
That was probably the best I've ever heard him. And I've seen him a few times.
say,
He
how'd
was
he sound?
on. He did take breaks. He was going to the back. I'm sure he was sucking oxygen, and
That's-
you know.
gotta do what you
But
gotta do.
he was vocally it was probably the best I've seen
Yeah.
him.
That's good.
But he didn't want to stop, and eventually you saw someone come up and whisper in his ear, and he just went, "All right, this is really the last song." And he didn't left because
Yeah.
the union thing, they got to be closed.
Yeah, with sound
whatever.
ordinance and everything. If you go like a minute
But
past,
it's
it's like,
like, who cares about the sound ordinance? But yeah, they had to end by 11 or whatever it was.
if,
and they ended.
if I have to pay $10,000 for every
Yeah.
minute I go past, yeah, it'd probably be pretty
If you were
upset.
Ozzy, I don't think you'd care.
Probably more money than
Yeah.
God anyway.
He wouldn't
yeah.
even notice. He
Yeah.
could have went another hour and he wouldn't have cared.
I saw. I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan. I saw Axl when they got back together, and his voice is still booming. I saw him sing with AC/DC, still rock. Angus is still rocking.
I'll tell you, I didn't want to see him in AC/DC. I'm like, man, it's gonna suck. And then I went. I'm like, wow, it's good.
It was
I
great.
think he was actually better in AC/DC than he was in Guns
That's
N'
what my
Roses.
brother and I
I'm
were saying. We were like,
yeah.
he's pretty good because
Yeah.
he went off stage and let Angus do his schoolboy thing
Yeah.
and with the outfit, and he falling all around the ground. It was awesome.
I just hate Axl because he was what killed rock more than the punk and the not the punk, the
Grunge.
grunge era coming in. Like they gave credit to Nirvana and bands like that. It had nothing to do with it. Rock was still going well. AC/DC was
Yeah.
still selling. Van Halen was still selling. Metallica was still selling. Well, not so much AC/DC. That was later. They came back with Black Ice, but Van Halen and Metallica was still selling albums like crazy.
GNR was on
Guns
tour
N'
with
Roses
Metallica.
was selling big time.
Yeah.
And then Axl decided he was bigger than everybody else.
Axl
he
did
didn't have
Axl.
to show up. He was living his songs life. You know what? We're supposed to go on to 7. I'll go out there at 10:30 and sing a couple of songs
Yeah,
and go home. Maybe I won't go out there. Who cares?
I read Duff's book, It's So Easy, and he talks about all that with Axl. He's like, I would just sit there in the studio, not the studio, backstage. I'd be there at like 8, and I would just get hammered because I'm not
Yeah.
going out till 11, or whenever
Yeah.
Axl showed up, and everyone else would be all.
And
messed
regardless
up
of
on
what happened
whatever.
with him and Slash, the nitpickiness of it, to go and re-record everything he did on Chinese Democracy and delay it another 5 years.
So just
I didn't like Chinese Democracy.
hated it.
It probably would have been good if he left it alone and let it be Guns N' Roses.
Well, the thing he
re-recorded everything.
It was so hyped.
Yeah.
Chinese Democracy what was it?
And that was the other thing too.
was
is,
so hyped up,
I
it just-
expected, Welcome to the Jungle, and it just wasn't that.
Well, I think they're back in the studio. And
yeah, they said
word
this in the
is-
music. I don't know if I'd ever go see him again.
I'll see him every time. Axl, guys, whenever you want to come on to New York. I'll
I
be
did
there.
see, I gave him the chance the first time when he broke down. When he came back, I went with him, even though Slash wasn't around.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he did say something and got booed and quickly learned because he was at the Garden. He's like, yeah, I don't have Slash. And boo! But he's okay, you know, just
My
start
bad.
singing
Oh my God,
again.
start another song.
But then he got that ego again and screwed it up with them. And I was like, I'm done with him.
I feel like he's straightened out.
He did.
Everything I see him doing now
He
is
seems
right.
genuine now.
Yeah, he's smile. I saw him smile
yeah.
on stage recently. That
And
was-
he buried the hatchet with Slash because it
Yeah.
had to happen.
I mean, they're just too iconic of a band to not get back together. Because
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much money they've made on this past tour. That's
They
before
probably
they
made more now than they did in the 80s.
before
and the
they
90s.
announced everything. I'd talk about my brother like, just imagine the money they'll make. Just
Yeah.
just play the old songs.
don't
Nobody
know.
cares.
What
Just
are
want to
tickets
see you.
even going for now? I don't even know.
When they first got back together, I used my tax return check and got
Wow.
tickets. So that's how much they're
So I know
going.
Sebastian Maniscalco was getting over $100 for the cheap seats in the Garden.
Yeah.
And
He's
comics
hysterical.
usually don't make what bands do.
No, yeah.
So I'm assuming Guns N' Roses was a lot more than $100 for the cheap seats.
Oh yeah, I paid well over $100.
Bon Jovi toured. It just was in my Facebook memories, and I forget because I had a band going around. I'm like, you could go see Bon Jovi tonight for $650. You can come see us for free. So I'm assuming they're probably at least in that range. The lower you get.
I don't know. I've never. I'm sure they are because they're again it's an iconic band
Yeah.
and
Yeah. If you want to be down front, you're gonna pay.
there aren't. The problem is there aren't any bands around anymore.
Yeah.
So you just have the classic rock guys. And there's just that's all you have because everything's DJs now or rappers and it's just music isn't.
Which I never understood, and I DJ'd this. Not knocking DJs at all, but I don't know why you'd want to go to a DJ concert. The point of a DJ is to
I know.
dance, get into it, whatever. You're gonna sit in the seat and cheer a guy that's going.
Yeah. I mean, I love DJs. Avicii was one of my favorite DJs.
I like it too, but
Loved
is
him.
the Garden a place for that?
I'm not
Or is a big club a place for that?
Spending $800
No.
to see you in front of a booth.
See,
with
at
a
least
lot
a
of
rapper,
lights.
you might have a guy sitting there scratching and playing some pre-recorded stuff, but at least they're going around and singing
Yeah.
and doing stuff. A DJ's just going.
Yeah, it's just not. He's got a big
he's pressing
glowing helmet on.
Because I mean, I'm sure he's doing some stuff live, but most of that stuff's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
He's hitting play on his computer.
He's not even mixing live.
No.
It's just put the USB in and go. That's what I say to my friends or whoever I talk to music about is I just miss that ringing when I leave.
Yeah.
Because the guitar is just rocking and your hands are shaking because the bass is just the bass drum from the drums and it just booms. I miss that.
Take someone like a DJ Paulie D.
Yeah.
He's huge. He was a big DJ before Jersey Shore. He's much bigger now because of the show.
because now he plays like
Yeah.
C all the time and everything.
But he used to go to Harris, and the big club there was the pool. Because
Yeah,
I used to
I've
go
been
there and
there. Great
gamble all the time. And like whenever he was there, like I'm like, all right, I gotta stay away from this section. I can see
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy. I'll go over to that side. But I mean, that's the place for something like that. I don't think
Yeah.
the Garden or the Coliseum is a
But
place
they
to see
sell.
a DJ.
But they
They
sell.
will, you know.
So it's like it's.
But we become our parents.
I
I don't
guess
get this new crap. In my days,
yeah.
bands went out and played. You know.
Yeah. Well, the only a new band I really like is 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah, they're
see
good.
them all the time. Me and my girlfriend, big fans, and but they're also still playing instruments. Like the drummer came out with just like a drum line thing and
Yeah.
did a set, and I'm like, this is awesome. And they do a lot of different stuff, and but yeah, hard rock it's barely hanging on.
Well, unfortunately, our time is up. But thanks for coming on. And once again, where can we see you this month? Next month in March.
Barrier Brewery. I'll be there this Saturday from 6 to 11, but the entire month I'll be at Barrier Brewery. Go get a beer and have a good time and look at some cool art.
And tune in next week. We will have Margot Phillips. She is a firefighter and a model, among other things. Hopefully, we'll have Teresa back. We'll see. Hopefully, she's feeling better.
Hope she gets better. Feel better.
And don't forget to check out our sponsor, Kayla Logistics. Call Frank at 347-536-3933. Email at frank@kaylalogistics.com. We'll see you next week.